Hey Olivia, you are the only person who is doing a company for themselves. But that's great. Good for you. Okay. I don't have your fonts, and so when I open your file, the fonts are missing. So what we're looking at here is a screenshot of your file that is correct, and then I'll have to refer back to it on the right. Okay. Some of these are just, I'm just gonna do a process elimination real quick. All right, some of these are just variations of kind of what you're doing up here, what I think you probably like better. So it's really just placement and nothing super original about those. The original ones are kind of up here. This one to me gets a little, I see this font a lot, but it gets kind of hard to read because you see your name and then you see your name down, or your initials and then your name and then photography, and they are all in different colors, so you don't know what to look at first, and it's kind of stacking up into this pyramid shape that I don't know is necessarily very helpful. I really like what you did here with putting photography in something very readable and this in something that looks handwritten. That was a good choice. So I would opt out of this one too. This one, you pay more attention to the very bold and graphic rectangles and circles, and with your eye bullseye here, you just go straight to that circle, and then you start to look at this and you don't quite know what OPP stands for, and then you see down here very small Olivia Peaks photography. So for that reason, I don't think this one's the best one. Okay, I'm still not 100% sure on using the little camera. Kind of like just your words. I don't think these two are really helping the case. This one, you kind of are weighing the two and then you read it. I don't think that's best either. There's just, your eye bounces back and forth. This, I think the drawing of this looks more like an icon. It looks like something that needs to be small and an accent, not an overall logo, or else if it's the overall logo, it looks sort of elementary. So I don't think it needs to be your main graphic. And it's okay to have a logo type. And a logo type is just the words without the image next to it. And that is perfectly acceptable. Lots of companies do that. This one, I think I'm just not crazy about that font for you. And OPP, I'm just not, it doesn't really look like photography. It doesn't have like a photography element inside of the OP and the P to show you that that's what it is. So I don't think that's your best choice. I'm trying to narrow this down for the discussion. And really this one is kind of a variation on this one, and this one is better. So, and I think the reason it's better is because this font choice is really just a great font. It looks a little retro, a little bit a typewriter. I just think it's a nice choice with everything else you've gotten together. For some reason, the Olivia Peaks photography, I think, is more important than this little icon. I prefer this as an icon, and here it is working more as a logo because you look at it first. And the Olivia Peaks is so light that it's not the first thing I see. So let's go ahead and scratch that one too. Okay, we're down to these two. Really, the only thing I would change in this one, you will present a black and white version to me as well as a color version, so you could play with variations on these, which one gets the yellow, which one gets the blue. You can play with all that. But for this first one, you'll, just all black and white. One thing to pay attention to with, let me just draw or let me grab one of yours over here and change it to a different font. So sorry, my kids are in the background. trying to find a time to do this when no one was awake, and that just didn't happen. We've had illness and all kinds of stuff going on this week, so that's just life. Okay, I want to lock this so that I can quit clicking on it. Object, lock. Okay. Now I can work on top of it and not move everything around. Grab this. Seriously? Hold on. Okay, what I was trying to tell you about fonts. I'm just going to pick them. When a font that is a script is meant to be seen with zero tracking because you want these things to connect. So what you've done by stretching this out is forcing these elements to not connect when they really should. Okay, so you see when I take it back to 0, everything links like it's one continuous line. If I stretch that back out, then all of a sudden you get these breaks in the letters, and no one who writes calligraphy would ever write like that. So I don't have the Jane Austen font, but making sure this is 0 so that it's not stretched out is going to make it look more authentic. But this, the subtle line underneath, stretching this out in all caps is beautiful. I wouldn't make many changes to that at all. If you choose to use this camera icon, then I would recommend working on some of the thicks and thins so that this can have a little bit more of a modern look and not look quite so elementary. This is a really, this is a good solution here. Let's go with a thinner line so that instead of really looking at that line, I'm looking as a whole. That line is very bold and starting to stick out to me. So I'm going to hide all of that and leave your text because the text is working. And then let's make this a thinner line. Oh, I see, you made a shape. Okay, I'm going to delete that and draw a line instead of a shape so that we can control the weight. And I'm just going to make it either 0.25 or let's go 0.5. It looks like it needs to be just a little thicker. Okay, something like that. It's subtle, it's still there, but it's not going to be bold and obtrusive. Okay. Let's lock these so that I'm not. I'm so sorry they're so loud. I hope it's not too distracting for you. Okay, now this you can really work on this, I think. I'm not even sure what this little flag represents on a camera. So really look at your camera. Look at what's on your camera and try to make something that is simple and rectangular like you have it, but something that might look a little bit more functional. I would start by thinning down these elements for sure. Okay, so thinner is better. I'm really not sure what the little flag's about. So I'm going to take that away. And I'm just going to draw a simple viewfinder. Yeah, I'm not even cleaning this up much, but I think you could do a better job of cleaning it up yourself. And let's make sure this is centered. I'm not even sure if it's centered right now. Anytime you draw something like this, it automatically becomes a visual target for your eye. So make sure that it's in a place that you really want to be seen. Okay, that's not much of a change, but I did simplify it some. You could still make that viewfinder yellow if you really like that color. Where are my swatches? Okay. And it, you know, you could still do a black frame if you really like that. But I think you could have a winner in this if you just keep this as a small icon off to the side of your logo type. So I would pursue those two directions that I gave you, and I think you're well on your way. And good luck with your photography too.